Hey guys, welcome back. I'm glad that you're liking the content. I'm glad you're liking the videos. You know, I do sometimes share content which obviously some of you don't like, or some of you feel that, you know, hey, how could you talk about such things, especially the Hrithik video that we did. You know, obviously, you know, some people loved it. Some people said, you know, the die-hard fans of Hrithik obviously felt that, you know, how could you say he's not natural? Guys, I was just sharing my perspective with you, and I'll continue to do so. I only want to help you out, you know, whatever little knowledge I have and whatever little knowledge I've acquired over the years in terms of fitness. So having said that, what are we talking about today? Guys, I get a lot of questions from my Muslim friends, you know, and you know, I'm talking about, you know, from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, everywhere, you know, asking me that Tarun, Ramzan or Ramadan is starting, you know, in a few days from now. It's obviously a 1 month time window wherein all you would be doing, or they would be doing, is about 2 meals a day. One is going to be about 3:30, 4 in the morning, and the other one will be at 6, 6:30 in the evening. And in between that time period of about 12 to 16 hours, there would be nothing. They won't be able to eat anything. They won't be able to drink water. First of all, guys, kudos, man. This is a great religious sentiment, you know. In Hindu, usually people do it for 9 days, but in Ramzan, in Muslim culture, they do it for about a month. Wow, I think it's just pure sentiment. I love that. Now, having said that, from fitness perspective, you know, what do you do in these 30 days? How do you keep your gains, or can you make gains in that month? Because obviously, you know, this is something that you want to do. You want to do it for yourself. It's purity of thoughts, you know, purity of your own self-being. So I'm not going to tell you, okay, don't do it, or do it for this much amount of time. You got to do it. You got to do it for all 30 days, or don't do it. Now, how do we do this, you know, in terms of gain? What kind of training should you follow? And obviously there are certain food items that you obviously have to eat when you break your fast in the morning and in the evening, both. So let's talk about food first. So obviously, you know, you usually break your fast in the evening at 6, 6:30. Iftar is what it's called, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's usually dates, you know, because I've been to a lot of these, these fastings, and I love the food because everybody carries their food. Because I used to work in an environment where obviously it's a mixed bag. You know, we had people from all religions, and I used to see in the cafeteria we had a lot of Muslim friends. You know, they used to carry food from home in the evening. They will all get together, wear like a bandana, white bandana, and have food. I think it's a great feeling. So I've had a lot of food. That's why I became fond of dates. Dates, when I mean khajur. You know, don't get me wrong, I have a wife. You know, if I were to say that, I'll get punished. I may not get food tonight, right? Anyways, so I used to love that food. So obviously you got to have that, but obviously, you know, after some time you can also add some, you know, protein and some carbs and stuff. Obviously you have to take a call, but I can also understand not eating for about 12 to 16 hours. Obviously you will be hungry and you would want to feed yourself. My only request to you is, in this 1 month period of time, guys, don't overfeed yourself. What will happen is, the first 3 days will be very challenging for you. You will feel starved, you will feel hungry, but after about 3 days your body will get used to it. Now, how will it help you? Now, if you were to overfeed yourself with 2 meals, chances of you putting on weight will be a lot higher. So you don't want to do that. You know, it's like one of those things. If you see people, they always complain that, you know, oh, Tarun, I've developed a belly fat, you know, but my other body part remains pretty lean. There's a reason. The reason is they only take 1 or 2 big meals. That's why they're fat. You don't want that. So what you really need to do first is, you know, probably cut down on your food intake. I know it's going to be very challenging, but hey, you got to do it. You got to do it for this 1 month. Take a call if you want to stay in shape. But hey, you can also choose to put on a little extra kilos and probably then work towards the month after that. That's entirely your call. I'll leave it to you. Once that's done, obviously, once you've minimized your food, then comes your training. How should you train? Should you train? Obviously, you can't train at 3 in the morning because no gym would be open, or you don't even want to go outdoors because some of you would be sleeping, and it can be a little challenging for many of you. I can understand that. So what you have to do is, after you're eating, after about 6:30 when you break it, you can train, you know, train for about an hour or so. And you remember, when you train here, you really can't lift heavy. Guys, don't even think of doing heavy weights in this time period, because what would happen is, you're going to train heavy, you would feel hungry, and obviously you would not be able to eat anything after your training, which means you have to wait until 3:30 in the morning to have it. So there's no point. You will only fatigue yourself. So when you train, You just got to train very light, 12, about 10 to 12 odd repetitions of about, 50 to 60% of your 1 RM. You don't have to push extra, just keep doing lightweight training. On the flip side, you'll realize that if you minimize your food and if you're not overfeeding yourself in these 2 meals, plus if you're training also with these light weights that I'm talking about, after a month you'll find yourself in a spot that your body fat would have come down drastically. And I've seen this happen because a lot of my clients are Muslim, and during the period of Ramadan they were very worried that how are we going to maintain our gains, we're going to put on weight. On the contrary, after a month they lost weight by following these 2 things: minimizing the food, which is more of a mental task, and then ensuring that they don't train heavy. Because what happens is, I'll tell you what typically happens. What people do is, the guys especially, the mistakes they make is, the classic mistake they make is, they'll eat their food at 6:30, eat really heavy because they're hungry through the day, and immediately hit the weights, and they do really heavy weights. And obviously what happens after that, there's a crash. Obviously you're not eating anything after that, and then you have to wait till 3. The whole clock is so topsy-turvy that you really don't know how to cope up with it. Some of us actually give up, say, you know what, I'm not going to train in Ramadan, I'm just going to eat, and as a result you put on weight. So what I'm asking you to do is, I'm asking you to do 2 things here: minimize your food intake and train light weights, and boom, you're good to go. These are the only 2 things I would tell you guys. Trust me, if you're fat, if you're a little overweight, Ramadan is an ideal time for you, not just to purify your thoughts and do things for our God, but also do things for your body. So I hope this video helps you. Any one of you have any questions around this, feel free to reach out to me either on my Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or even on my WhatsApp. I've added a few more people. I'll be very happy to help you with your Ramadan or Ramadan goal. So until we meet again, peace.